Hey, yo, this is Zaccheus with another live word of the day. Now, today I want to discuss the term called peace, the word peace. Man, I was in the scriptures late last night and I was looking at 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and I was reading and I was looking at some verses. And it says it's good, and I was reading the first verse where it says it's good for a man not to touch a woman, and then it goes into marriage, and then it goes into honoring each other, husband and wife honoring each other, and then it continues as I read, and I continue to read that chapter. But what really stood out to me is where it says in chapter 7, verses 15, God calls us to peace. Now, I used to listen to a lot of people, marriages. They talk about their marriages. They talk about what's the best thing in a marriage to have in marriage. But one thing they miss is during their discussions, even when it comes to even a show called, I used to watch a show called Black Love with my wife. Yes, man. And but they don't really emphasize peace. You could say, I want to be a good wife, or I want to be a good husband, and say, yeah, I just want to be a wife and I want to be a husband, but what about inquiring about peace? Having a peace of mind with that person. You know, what I mean by having a peace of mind and always and trying to have a peaceful journey with that person, what I mean to say is that sometimes you're going to have bumps, sometimes you're going to have arguments, but it shouldn't be consistent. And the person should not, when you're with that person, they shouldn't always bring you grief. And they shouldn't always cause stress in your life where you constantly fighting back and forth, bickering. She's fussy, you fussy, and you're always bumping heads all the time. And you do have kids. Let's say if you have kids, the kids feed off of that energy too. The kids just feed off of that energy when you always bumping heads all the time, and there's always an intensity. Sometimes, I'm just giving scenarios. Sometimes when you're sitting in your car, you don't feel like going inside because you know you're going to get into an argument with her, or vice versa. She don't want to go inside because she knows she's going to bump heads and get into an argument with you. It should not be that way. It shouldn't be like a volcano every time you two try to spend time together, or in the same household together, or place together where you live. It should not be a tornado meeting a hurricane, or a volcano meeting or a storm. It should not be that way. It should be always able to resolve conflicts in a rational way. There's no need to be throwing plates at each other. There's no need to be going at each other's throat. There's no need for that. There's no need for that. And if you find yourself that you're in a domestic situation and you can't get along, you just can't see eye to eye, and it always comes to it's not just an argument, but it's an explosive argument. The cops gotta be called, and it's always a beat down, and this gotta be broken up, and the walls gotta be punched, and she gotta be throwing plates at you. It should never be that way. It should never be that way. It's not the longevity you are in a relationship, but it's the quality. Do you respect each other? Do you love each other? Because if you respect each other, then that's where the love comes in. Because respect is big. I said that one time. I said that in another video. Respect is big. So if you love each other, you're going to respect each other. And never try to, instead of being in the biggest building, try to listen and hear what each other got to say. But if you find yourself in that kind of conflict, where there's a physical domestic violence, then it's time to reconsider the relationship. Because in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verses 15, God called us to peace. He wants us to be in peace. This is Zaccheus with another live word of the day. God bless and be safe out there. Peace.